What's up, guys? It's Big Papa Leads here, and today I'm rocking the slightly more regular glasses from a local brewery here. Excited to jump into today's video because this comes highly requested from the Discord and from the comments. Today we're going to talk about how to choose your niche. I'm going to give you a list of, I've got maybe 30 different niches here that I'm going to go over, and I'm going to talk about what you should consider when you're picking a lead generation niche, because obviously it's very important to choose one that's going to make sense for you. And if you haven't heard of the way that we generate leads before, what we do is we like to go into one niche. Let's say it's life insurance, and we want to dominate that niche with a single brand where we run leads through that brand through a single funnel or through a few similar but different funnels, and we spit those leads out to multiple clients. So I could have life insurance brand called Bob's Insurance. I run Facebook and Google ads to that landing page called Bob's Insurance. I generate leads, and then I send them to 10 different clients of mine that are buying leads off me, and my lead that I generate would essentially be told, hey, we're Bob's Insurance. We're going to help you find the right insurance provider that can help you in your specific situation. We've actually matched you with Judy's Insurance, and she's the perfect match for you because she's in your area in Utah, and she helps families like yours because you've told us in the quiz that you have 2 kids. Hopefully that makes sense. If you've never seen this channel before, I might be confusing you, but we're going to jump into the video and I'm going to talk about these different niches. So if you haven't heard of the way that we do lead gen before, I definitely recommend you check out some other videos. And as always, this video is brought to you by Leadbase. That's www.getleadbase.com. It's basically Go High Level on steroids, and it's $97 per month, where you can have everything from a CRM, a Facebook ads launcher, automate your text and email, talk to your clients, put them through a pipeline. There's training on there. There's freaking everything, and it's $97 a month. 7-day money back guarantee. If you hate it, I will give you your money back. No questions asked. I definitely recommend you check it out. Link in the description. So let's jump on the computer and I will talk about some lead generation niches. See you there. All right, glasses are coming off because it's getting dark and gloomy in Canada. There's no need for sunglasses anymore. I live in Vancouver, British Columbia, and it is starting to get ugly out there. All right, so I've got a couple different niches here on the computer. I just kind of wrote these off the top of my head. I'm going to talk about 6 main categories that I thought of. There's obviously almost endless different niches that you could do lead gen for. 3 things that I want to mention before that I jump into this. And if you're considering trying to figure out a niche to go into right now, then this is going to be relevant to you. So one is, when you're considering a niche, I would recommend trying to think of how to find a niche that you understand and know. So maybe you've had experience doing people's lawns, or you've worked for a landscaper, or you know a landscaper, and maybe you could partner with them and even give them leads at cost you could learn. So you have a little bit of an advantage there if you understand that niche, right? So my first niche was timeshare cancellation because I knew somebody in that niche. I was like, I don't think anyone else is doing this. And I had a little bit of a concept of it because I knew people who had been ripped off buying timeshares. So I'm like, I'm gonna get into that niche. That leads to my second tip, is try and get into a niche that no one else is doing. So if you go into life insurance or solar, obviously it can be very, very lucrative niches. People are crushing it in those. There's huge volume. There's tons of potential audience there, but you're gonna be facing a lot of competition, and you're going to have to go above and beyond to succeed in that niche, most likely. For me, again, timeshare cancellation, no one was really doing that at the time. It's become a little bit more popular now in the industries. Not what it once was, but I digress. It was something at the time that worked really well. So think about that when you go into a niche. What can you get into that is maybe less saturated? And the third thing is, because you're going to be building an entire brand around this, I would definitely recommend testing before you go into a niche. So if you wanted to go into debt consolidation, run a few ads, invest a little bit of your own money, see if you can get a lead, figure out what the leads are going to sell for. You know, when you're testing, you're not going to have your ideal lead cost right off the bat. You know, assume it's going to cost you 50% more when you're testing than you're actually going to get the leads for when you optimize and test. Because remember, noobs use templates and pros test. So you're going to go and want to test when you go into these niches. That's basically it there. You're going to want to test. You're going to want to go into a niche that's not too saturated, maybe, and you're going to want to understand the niche you're going into. So let's take a look at this list here. So I've got a couple categories. I've got financial, home, legal, medical and health, B2B, senior market, and then I've got some other niches and some ideas that I was just working on as well. So these are all different niches where you could generate a lead online and then sell that lead to a business in one of these industries. Let's talk about financial first. There's mortgages, life insurance, debt consolidation, tax relief, loans, and life settlements. Life settlements is an extra one I added. We tried life settlements and it just didn't really work for us, but I put it in there. These are usually, I feel like, one of the hotter markets that people go into because they just think of those very quickly. They think, everybody needs a mortgage. Everybody probably needs life insurance. A lot of people have debt, and they're not wrong. These niches can obviously be very, very lucrative for people, but they are also niches that are going to be quite saturated. There's definitely pros and cons to these. The one thing I will say is if you choose to go into a financial niche, people have done it before and it's possible. There's a path to success in mortgage. There's a path to success in life insurance. It's just not always going to be super easy. You're going to have to grind. You're going to have to figure it out. So that's financial. Home, I think, is a very interesting one. So let me talk about the differences between home and financial. Financial, this can be done usually across, let's use the US for example, across the entire US. So if I want to run mortgages, I could have one mega client that's buying leads all over the US. But it's more likely with home that I'm gonna have to work a bit more local. That's gonna add a lot of technicalities to my funnel. It's gonna add a lot more work in terms of distributing those leads, but then it also provides a lot more opportunities because you can target different markets. So for example, if I wanted to only do landscaping in Idaho, I probably wouldn't have too much competition there and I could be the master of landscaping in Idaho. I'm probably not gonna be able to find a client in the home niche. This definitely depends. This is not black and white. This is gray area here. But in the home niche, you're probably not going to find a, tree removal guy or landscaping guy who's going to buy 100 leads a day. It's pretty unlikely unless you can get on board with like a big franchise. Like there's Augusta Landscaping is one that's just across the border here. I live about 5 minutes from the Washington border and I go across for cheap beer and gas all the time. I take advantage, and Costco. But there's big franchises that maybe you can get on board with and they could distribute leads out and you could be the middleman. So home is interesting because you're going to have a lot of options. You're probably going to find clients way easier than life insurance or like some of these big, debt consolidation. Life insurance wouldn't be too hard because there's a lot of individuals, but you're going to find clients easier in home because you can find these sole proprietors, which aren't always the best clients, but they're great for learning. And then you can always transition your learnings with some of those smaller clients into bigger clients. Hope my rambling's okay, guys. I'm just kind of talking off the top of my head here. HVAC's a really good one. I know people crushing it in HVAC. You have a really large potential value there because if someone installs that HVAC system, it can cost anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 and they make really good margins. So there's a lot of money to be paid out to a lead generator. Home is really good. There's probably 50 more here that you could do for home, from gutters, cleaning, organizing, again, flooring, carpet, foundation, driveways, cracks in your concrete, like anything you can think of. That could be a niche that you could be the pro in. Home could be a really good one because, again, if you could think of something, just a sub niche within homes and be like the window guy. Here's an example. Not Richard. Let's go Insurance Ian. So Insurance Ian is one of our older brands that we just kind of discontinued because we weren't making the margins we wanted to, but I use it for a lot of teaching. So Insurance Ian, right? We've gone very broad here. We're going life insurance. That's a very broad brand. And we sell leads to people all over Canada. We could have gone into the States as well. You can kind of go everywhere with this financial product. Let's say we want to do Wendy's windows or Window Wendy, right? You could find a distributor that distributes windows to tons of franchisees all over the US, but you could also, again, focus on Idaho or something like that and have Wendy's windows. And if you became the freaking best lead generator of windows out there and you just understood that market so well, you understood how to get leads, you got them at lower cost than anybody else, you got them at higher quality than anybody else, you're gonna have a lot less competition than something like life insurance. So that's something to think about. The next one is legal. I couldn't think of any other subcategories for this for some reason, but the first ones that come to mind is personal injury and mass tort. So mass tort is like mass lawsuits or class action type stuff against there's one of them is like baby powder that hurt babies and a bunch of people are suing that company. Really sad, but it is, you run an ad and say, have you been injured by this thing, or Roundup grass stuff that gives people cancer. It's terrible. There's also personal injury claims. So someone's been in a car accident and in the States it's different. Up here we have this ICBC thing that has a monopoly over our insurance, but in the States it's different. You just sue the crap out of people.
Sue me. Sue him.
So personal injury is one you can get into, quite competitive. Here dealing with lawyers is a huge pain in the ass, so that's something to keep in mind. Sorry, lawyers. Medical and health, we've got dental. I actually really like this one. It's kind of like home on steroids because it's going to be more local, most likely, but there's like huge ticket items here. So dental surgeries can cost 20 to 30 grand. Getting veneers, I'm going to jump into the senior market for dentures. Those can cost a lot of money. Eye treatments can cost thousands of dollars. Plastic surgery costs thousands of dollars. I put gyms in here and others like special high ticket treatments like hyperbaric chambers or cryotherapy, those types of things. Like those cost so much money and you can target a high ticket client for those people. This would be the one where maybe you'd sell the leads for $150 to $200 for a high quality lead. And once you really understand your client and have a good relationship, a back end deal could make you a lot of money here. Like if you're getting a piece of the dental deal on every $27,000 veneer installation there, and you get like 25% or 33% of that, like obviously you could make a lot of money. You just have to understand the niche really well. B2B, there's business loans, business car finance, call centers. We've done ads for that. Business tax credits, business office space. The tax credit one is that one where you get your employees get $5K each or something like that. Can't remember what it was called. That was something that everyone was talking about. And that's going to lead me to my next thing to think about here is your niche money for jam? So ERC is what we call money for jam. It's the same thing that happened in timeshare cancellation, 7 or 8 years ago. ERC is like, the ad you run is like, hey, do you have a business? Did you know you can get 26 grand for doing nothing? Like that's like the easiest offer. Like if I had a business.
But you have one, don't you?
I have a business. If I had a business with more employees or whatever, I could read that ad and be like, oh, I get 26 grand. And as long as I don't think it's a scam, it's like the easiest thing ever. It's money for jam. And Dan Wardrop coined that term. Shout out to Dan Wardrop, big fan of flexible. And the money for jam thing that hit me when I first started was timeshare cancellation, because at the time you could get a refund on your missold timeshare. So you bought a timeshare for 50 grand and your sales guy lied to you, like most of them do. You could at the time, this doesn't really happen anymore, you could basically sue the timeshare company, prove you were missold and get back that $50,000, and you would just pay a percentage of that or very small fee compared to that refund to the timeshare exit company. Someone sees that, they're like, I hate my timeshare, it's freaking ruining my life. Oh, I can get a refund? It's like the easiest offer ever. That's money for jam. It's like money for nothing. They're just seeing an ad that's like, that's easy, I get money. Versus, life insurance is like, hey guys, get life insurance. And they're like, maybe tomorrow. So something to think about. Another one of my rants, my signature rants right there. Business office space, security, employee benefits. This could be a big one. If you can get some 100 employee company on a new benefit package, like that lead could be worth $10,000, because that could be worth millions of dollars to your client if you got their 401k plan for their 100 employees. Like that's huge potential in B2B, or business loans. Like you get somebody a $500k business loan, you could back end that and make like tens of thousands of dollars. So big money in B2B, harder to find the clients in B2B though. Like usually it's just, I wouldn't say it's more difficult, it's just you're not targeting the general public. You're gonna have to go kind of scraping emails on LinkedIn route. Maybe you could run this effectively on Google, but you're gonna pay a lot per click. So everything's just a little inflated here. Your cost per click's gonna be more, your cost per lead's gonna be more, but you're gonna be able to sell the lead for more. So there's a bit of risk in that situation there. Seniors, target the 65 plus market. There's hearing aids, that stair chair thing that you go up the stairs in, walk-in bathtubs. I actually almost started working in walk-in bathtubs with this guy who was willing to buy like 100 leads a day, but it was kind of an affiliate program and there wasn't enough meat on the bone for me. But I know that it's possible because they sell these walk-in bathtub setups for like 10 to 20 grand. It's crazy. Retirement home, retirement planning, funeral planning. I know people who are crushing it in will and testament. Interesting. If you're okay working in that kind of, funeral planning is not the funnest thing to maybe work in, depending on who you are. Other niches, I was thinking education, coaches, travel. I don't know why this came to mind, but like divorce or divorce lawyer, that would be illegal. Obviously, I'm not getting a divorce. I'm very much in love with my wife. Yeah, that's basically it. Obviously, again, you could build this list out to be hundreds and hundreds of niches, but these are the things that come to mind. And hopefully this helps you pick a niche if you're just getting into it. Maybe you're in a niche right now you don't love and you want to pivot out of it. I would say maybe it's time to pivot. Maybe it's also time to just continue to grind and be the very best like no one ever was in that niche. But yeah, hopefully this is helpful. I'll post a link to this in the description. I won't forget this time. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about a niche you're going into, I'd love to hear about it. Make sure you join the Discord. The link is in the description. It's a free Discord with almost, I think by the time this video is posted, we'll have over 500 members in the Discord, all chatting about lead gen. And again, stay tuned for future boot camps. Sign up for Leadbase below for just $97 per month and use all of its amazing functionalities. Yeah, hope to see you in the Discord. Leave a comment below if you're already in a niche, and if you have any questions. I'm gonna stop rambling now. Big Papa Leads is out of here.